Imagine you're watching the greatest rugby nation that's never won a World Cup. 3 finals, 3 heartbreaks, 60 years of what if. But something's changed, something nobody saw coming. In 2013, France finished dead last in the Six Nations. Rock bottom, players retiring, fans leaving. The rugby world writing them off completely. Fast forward to today, 77% win rate since 2020, Olympic gold medalists, under-20 world champions 3 years running, and a 27-year-old scrum half who's rewriting the rules of what's possible on a rugby field. Here's what's terrifying. This isn't their peak, this is their starting line. And if you think French rugby was scary before, wait until you see what they're building behind closed doors, because what's happening in France right now will change world rugby forever. Let me paint you a picture of how bad things got. The 2010s were brutal for French rugby. Stone last in 2013, 4th place 5 different times in the Six Nations. At the 2015 World Cup, New Zealand didn't just beat them, they humiliated them. 62-13. Julian Surveyor scored a hat-trick like he was playing against children. 4 years later, same story. Wales knocked them out in the quarters again. The fans were done, the press was savage. Players were questioning if they belonged on the same field as the All Blacks. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of panicking, French rugby did something radical. They looked 20 years into the future and found their answer in the most unlikely place, their own past. Enter Fabien Galthié, black glasses, quiet intensity. Former World Player of the Year who understood something others missed. Talent without system is just chaos. Galthié didn't just change the team, he changed everything. Out went the old guard clinging to past glory. In came kids who'd never known failure at international level. Players who believed they belonged anywhere, against anyone. The results? Since 2020, France's worst Six Nations finish is 2nd place. Their best? A Grand Slam in 2022 that had rugby fans around the world taking notice. But Galthié was smart. He surrounded himself with the best minds in rugby, Raphael Ibanez and William Servat, former French hookers who understood the culture, Sean Edwards, the English defensive mastermind, even Jérôme Garcès, the former World Cup referee advising on discipline. This wasn't just coaching, this was nation building, the golden generation. Then there's Antoine Dupont. Watch him play for 5 minutes and you'll understand why rugby fans get emotional talking about him. He doesn't just control games, he bends them to his will. Opposition teams spend entire weeks planning how to stop one player. But here's what makes France truly dangerous. Dupont isn't carrying this team alone. Romain Ntamak is threading impossible passes. Damien Penaud finishing tries that shouldn't exist. Gregory Aldrit is powering through defences like they're made of paper. Charles Ollivon leading from the front. Louis Bielbiari burning past defenders with electric pace that leaves crowds gasping. They're all under 30, they're all hungry, and they're all getting better. But where do these players keep coming from? This is where the story gets scary. Since 2018, there have been 4 under-20 World Cups. France has made the final every single time. They've won 3 in a row, think about that. An entire generation of French players who've never known anything but winning. Remember the All Blacks' dominance from 2011 to 2015? Their under-20 teams won everything from 2008 to 2011. The pattern is identical. France is mass-producing world-class rugby players. Here's what nobody talks about: the JIFF regulations. Every French professional team must have at least 16 academy-trained players in its matchday squad. Not imports, not mercenaries, homegrown talent. But they're not just keeping it local. French clubs are setting up partnerships with the world's best rugby schools. Montpellier linked with Grey College in South Africa, the school that produces more professional players than anywhere else on earth. They're investing millions in facilities. They're identifying talent at 16 years old. They're building a pipeline that other nations can't match. Look at the proof. Olympic gold in sevens rugby. Only the 2nd nation ever to achieve it. And who was leading the charge? Antoine Dupont. Switching formats mid-career and dominating immediately. This isn't just about one format of rugby. This is about a culture of excellence spreading through every level of French sport. Here's the truth that keeps other rugby nations awake at night. This current French team, with all their talent, all their success, they're not the finished product, they're the prototype. The real stars are still in the academies, still in the under-20 teams, still learning their craft with the best coaches, the best facilities, and the best development programs in world rugby. France didn't just fix their rugby team, they built a machine that will produce elite players for the next 2 decades. So here's what you need to ask yourself. In 10 years, when French players dominate every major league, when they've won multiple World Cups, when other nations are copying their model, will you remember this moment? The moment when you could see it all coming? Because this isn't just about rugby. This is about what happens when a proud nation decides to rebuild from the ground up. when they choose long-term vision over short-term fixes. The scary truth about France isn't just that they're good now, it's that they're just getting started. French rugby will be challenging at the top for many years to come, and honestly, the rest of the world should be worried. What do you think? Can anyone stop this French Revolution, or are we watching the birth of rugby's next dynasty? Let us know in the comments below. Hit that like button if this got you as excited about French rugby as we are. Subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that matter, and turn on notifications so you never miss the analysis that goes beyond the headlines. Until next time, thanks for watching.